Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys,
Thanks for joining us for another 11?
for another 11th.
For another 11. That's what happens when we record at 5 o'clock at night. For another lesson, number 68. We are back this week with our look at the Crusades, the holy wars that were waged by the Catholic Church against the Muslim world for centuries.
Ooh, man, I've been watching some stuff on this.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you found it interesting?
Very.
Yeah. And the algo be algorithming.
One of the Knights Templar, the vested members of the existing Templar, released a bunch of stuff that was like,
yeah,
I'm like, what? No, really?
Yeah, the church wasn't great.
No, it was like, I don't know. It was a bunch of stuff on when they were absolved.
Gotcha.
Like, let go.
The Knights Templar in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Let's see.
And a bunch of pop. Ooh, I'm orange again. Hey guys, I'm orange Ian.
Guess it picked up your can.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's weird.
Maybe the reflection from it.
Yeah. Maybe something like that. Weird stuff.
I don't know. That's weird.
But
it was a bunch of pop media or pop culture stuff that most of it was like a lot of it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, it's all true. I've actually was a consultant for the Assassin's Creed games. I'm like, ooh,
that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
All right. So when we last left you, we had just seen the end of the Second Crusade between King Almeric and Nur al-Din of the Seljuk Empire. And y'all, bear with me, because again, a lot of names in languages I don't speak. So
yeah,
a lot of me like doing the spell check is a lot of add to dictionary, add to dictionary, add to dictionary, add to dictionary.
Since I watched that now, I can kind of like imagine all those names as in like old Valencio, like or old Italy, and
yeah. So y'all think of this, just think of like real old Assassin's Creed. I don't know which game it would be, but
the first and second one.
Think of that.
The third one and some of the fourth one.
So after the failure of that campaign, support for these crusades began to wane, even as Saladin, the future sultan, was threatening to attack. Criticism of the crusades had also begun to grow as the rewards promised were not on the same level as the war they were waging. Like, hey, my spiritual rewards aren't quite big enough. Can I get some more? Then, as Jerusalem's biggest ally, the Byzantine Empire, faced their own turmoil with back to back coups in 1183 and 85, they became more isolated from the West. This would lead to an alliance between the Emperor Isaac II Angelos and Saladin, recognizing Saladin's claim to Syria, all except Antioch, because Antioch is just so goddamn special. Even though a truce had been signed and was still in effect, Reynaud of Chatillon attacked a Muslim caravan in 1187 in Transjordan. Once he got word of this attack, Saladin called his troops to fight, and on July 4th, 1187, Guy of Jerusalem and Raymond III of Tripoli were defeated at the Battle of Hattin. Raymond fled while Reynaud, the Templars, and the Hospitallers were executed. Saladin did spare other leaders, including Guy, Saladin then laid siege to Jerusalem for 12 days before the city surrendered on October the 2nd. He then laid siege to Tyre, but under the control of the newly arrived crusader Conrad of Montferrat. Montferrat. It's ferret, but with an A at the end instead of an E.
Fart.
Montferrat. Tyre was able to withstand the siege. Saladin ended the siege on January 1st, 1188, and retreated to Acres. When William Sicily heard of what happened, he sent 50 ships and 200 knights for support. These reinforcements helped shore up the defenses of Antioch, Tripoli, and Tyre. Raymond III died of illness, and Bohemond IV, son of Bohemond III of Antioch, took control of the county of Tripoli. I would like to know why they recycled names so much.
I don't know.
Because when we get like down towards the end, there's this one name, and there's like 5 of them in the story. I'm like, why are there so many of y'all just running around? Quit, just keep your damn name. Like, I'm sorry, Emperor John doesn't sound great, but like that's your fucking name, use it. On October 29th, 1187, Pope Gregory the Eighth, the Eighth. There's been 7 Pope Gregories before this one.
Right.
Why? I've never understand people changing their name like that. Like, why the Pope gotta have a new name? Why can't you just be Pope Ian or Pope Patty?
I don't know.
No, you gotta be Pope Leo or Pope Sisyphus or some stupid shit. Anyways, Pope Gregory the Eighth made a new decree, Audita Tremendi, launching the Third Crusade. Prince Richard of England, aka Richard the Lionhearted, was the first to take up the cross. Joscus of Tyre was appointed to preach in France, and Henry of Albano appointed to preach in Germany. On January 22nd, 1189, Joscus met with King Philip II of France and
King Hungry.
King Henry II of England, where he persuaded both the kings and several other nobles to take up the cross. Troubadours, or bards essentially, also went about spreading the decree. Yeah, imagine you go to a bar and there's some dude like singing about a crusade. Troubadours. I just realized how the fuck to say that word. Couldn't figure it out while I was typing it.
Right.
What? Sorry, guys. My autism is on full effect today. To pay for this new war, the church levied a quote unquote Saladin tithe of 10% on income and movable goods on England and France.
Sounds like
Oh, yeah, imagine that. On March 27th, 1188, Holy Roman Emperor Frederick I took up the cross at the court of Christ in Mans. English, French, and German troops would take a sea route while Frederick would march his troops overland. He began his journey in May of 1189 with 15,000 troops. By this point, the French only controlled Tyre, Antioch, and Tripoli, as well as the fortresses of Beaufort, Margat, and Croix des Chevaliers. In May of 1188, Saladin had freed Guy, but Conrad refused him entrance to Tyre. So Guy gathered his own troops, some 9,000 of them, and attacked Acre in August of 1189. He was supported by reinforcements from the Pisan naval fleet and western contingents. I just like Guy. See, Emperor Guy. Come on now. That would be awesome. Yeah, you know that emperor guy over there? That's funny.
where'd you get your weed from, that guy?
The emperor guy. Emperor Isaac II of the Byzantine Empire was afraid the Germans and Seljuk would form an alliance and refused to give Frederick safe passage. So Frederick attacked Byzantine towns. The Germans were briefly able to capture Konya, the city of Rome, or the capital of Rome, but their victory would be short-lived when Frederick oh, it's Frederick, that's right, drowned.
Frederick.
It's actually Frederick because it's like
Frederick.
Fred
Frederickson.
Derrick. Yeah, sorry. Again, names and languages. I don't see? I can't even speak English.
There's a cool picture of a Knights Templar lightsaber sword on here. It's like, yeah,
That's kinda cool.
that is cool.
Um, but their victory would be short-lived when
Frederick.
Frederick drowned in the river Salif on June 10th, 1190. His son was not able to rally the troops, and only remnants of the troops reached Acre in October. Tensions continued between the French and English until Henry II died in July of 1189. He was quickly replaced by Richard I, aka Richard the Lionhearted, who
Quick,
said,
quick note: it's hard to swim in full armor.
"Yeah, because that shit's heavy.
Yeah,
Metal don't float, folks."
hell no, it don't.
Okay. Don't ask me how the fuck they make shit float. I don't know, but armor does not. Okay.
No.
Um, yeah, Richard the Lionhearted, who set about preparing for the crusade by handing down a levy on the Jews. After a meeting with King Philip II on July 4th, 1190, Richard set out with 17,000 troops. Richard hired ships in Marseille, while Philip hired ships in Genoa, and the two set sail to Sicily. Richard captured Messina and forced the king Tancred of Lisi to pay a hefty price. From there, Philip sailed to Acre, where he landed on April 20th. A storm blew through, forcing some of the English ships to Cyprus, where they were captured by Emperor Isaac. Richard was not only able to free them, but captured the whole island before reaching Acre on June 6, 1191. You think they were celebrating 420 back in the 1100s?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But
That's a shame. Can you imagine how well the Crusades would win if everybody just got high that day?
I mean, like, I think that's like the thought of it now. Like, why are you guys still all just fighting? Because there's like so many different cultures, like people, languages. It's like in that area, it's
White
a
supremacy,
right?
capitalism.
The Catholic Church.
And back then, it was the
But
Catholic Church and capitalism.
yeah,
Greed,
greed,
greed, greed,
money.
greed. Greed seems to be the real problem
The dude,
with all of it.
the head dude was saying, ever since back then, they were just after like technology of
Mhm.
old civilizations, so they really wanted everything. They didn't just want your money; they wanted like your old pottery and like your
Oh, yeah, we'll
culture.
get to that when we talk about the sack of Constantinople towards the end.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a big
but
church.
then it's weird because they take that shit because on one hand, they wanna take it and put it in their museums and be like, "Look at all these great ancient civilizations," but they also do it because they wanna strip these people of their culture.
Yeah,
They want to strip them of who they are and turn them into who they want to be,
yeah.
and that's what
The
we're
Crusades
fighting
were.
against with that's what the Crusades were, and that's what we're still fighting against with the church today and
Yeah.
organized religion, not just the Christian church,
Oh no.
organized religion as a whole
Right.
is this kind of cancer, and it needs to die.
Yeah. There was a big church in Constantinople in the first Assassin's Creed game.
Nice.
Yeah, it was modeled after the big one. I don't think it was a church. I think it was a fort. But yeah,
Might have been like a cathedral or something.
it looked like a cathedral,
Yeah.
a big
I
cathedral.
feel like
But
does he stand on the top of it?
yeah,
Yep,
that
I
one.
know it. I know
The
it.
famous one where he jumps off the little plank and he goes, "Whoopee!"
Yeah.
He lands
I
in
think
a hay bale.
didn't I try playing Assassin's Creed once or
Yeah,
twice?
we played the first one.
Yeah. It was alright. I
Mhm.
should try and play it again. I need time alone though, because it's hard
It's a
to play
fun game.
games with this little shit in your ear. Just
Assassin's Creed's only one player
No.
too. So
But she'd still be in your ear going, "Oh, what's over there? Oh, what's over there? Oh, mommy, you missed this. Oh, mommy, you missed that." I
yeah,
love her, y'all. But the stage that we're at, I'm about to shave my head. I'm gonna go full Britney in a minute. I love her, but God, if she could just shut up for 5 minutes.
yeah.
All right. At the same time, Guy, who was still laying siege to Acre, which resulted at the same time, Guy was still laying siege to Acre, which resulted in a plague that killed Queen Sybil. Sib Sibylla, Queen Sibylla. On her death, Guy's claim to kingship was voided. Conrad swooped in, and with the support of the French and German crusaders, married Sibylla's half-sister Isabella on November 24th, 1190. Guy refused to end his siege and reached out to Richard for more support. And they sent support that would finally see a resolution to the siege. When their armies arrived, the siege kicked up another notch, and on July 12th, 1191, the defenders surrendered. Richard and Philip both raised their banners on Acre's walls, but when Leopold V of Austria attempted to do the same, Richard tore it down like a petulant little bitch. Philip II soon became ill and withdrew from the Crusades. Due to the surrender of Acre, Saladin was forced to free 1,600 Franks prisoners and return the True Cross. He did not, and in retaliation, Richard had between 2,700 and 30,000 Muslims executed.
Wow.
He then marched south and defeated Saladin at the Battle of Arsuf and captured Jaffa. Either sometime in late 1191 or early 1192, Richard received word that his brother John was attempting to take control of England, so he began to prepare to return. On April 20th, I want to say 1992 so bad. 1192, he recognized Conrad's claim to the kingdom of Jerusalem and gave control of Cyprus to Guy. That guy. 8 days later, Conrad was assassinated. I don't know how that makes me laugh, but it does. And his pregnant widow Isabella married Henry of Champagne, who was related to both the English and French kings. In June, Richard began a march towards Jerusalem, but stopped at Bayat Nuba. They were just 13 miles or 21 kilometers away, but were afraid that they would not be able to win another battle, so they withdrew to the coast. Saladin attacked Jaffa, but was defeated by Richard and the townspeople. This would lead to the resolution of the Treaty of Jaffa, a 3-year truce that recognized Frankish control of the coast between Tyre and Jaffa. The treaty also allowed for Christian pilgrims to have access to the holy site in Palestine. On October 9th, 1192, Richard left Palestine but was captured by Leopold V of Austria. If only he let him put his banner up on the wall. Leopold handed Richard over to Emperor Henry VI, who allowed Richard to buy his freedom for 100,000 marks.
Jeez.
Yeah, which is about 10,000 tons of silver.
Wow.
Or 10 tons of silver,
Jesus.
which is still like 20,000 pounds of silver. That's a lot of silver. Just imagine, these people just had fucking silver. They just had 20,000 pounds of silver.
That's crazy.
As a king, he's like, yeah, I got that. I'll have him ship it over. Whoa. And I'm over here like, do I have enough to get McDonald's?
Right.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Imagine 20,000 pounds of silver. That's like some Parker shit right there.
Let me see how much it's worth. 20.
20,000 pounds is 10 tons. Yeah, that's probably all that Parker's found in gold the whole time he's been on fucking Gold Rush.
He's found a lot.
I know, but he's only done like his biggest one was like what, maybe 8,000 pounds or 8,000 ounces.
No, he broke that. Pretty sure.
Hmm.
I think it was like 16 and
Hmm.
16,000? No, I don't know. I can't remember. But tell you how much this is worth today.
Okay.
10 tons of silver. Uh,
Sorry.
$24.1 million. If you break it down
And you
by
still
troy
wouldn't even
ounces.
be in the top 10% of the richest people in the world.
Yeah, probably not.
Think about that.
That's crazy.
It's funny because, like, okay, side quest. I was watching a Tony Baker video the other day, and he was saying some shit because, like, T Pain was like, "Yeah, like one year I made about 100 million, which, like, that's a lot, but that's not a lot as we know some people have out there." And Tony Baker was like, "Man, how you trying to say $100 million isn't a lot?" And it's like, because that's literally what Bezos pays for coffee in the morning. That's what T Pain's trying to say. He doesn't have Bezos money.
Yeah,
We know what he's trying to say.
for sure.
So on March 4th, 1193, Saladin died of an illness and his empire collapsed soon after. He had had an heir, his eldest son, Al-Afda, but he was unable to keep his Ayyubid relatives from seeking to take control. His uncle, Al-Dil, would come out on top and take control of Damascus in 1196. This crusade would be the model for other campaigns going forward, though none would reach the same scale. Emperor the Sixth, Emperor Henry the Sixth, set his sights on the eastern Mediterranean. He took up the cross in April of 1195. At the same time, Pope Celestine authorized preaching for a new crusade in Germany. Celestine. At least he came up with a fucking original name. To pay for his new campaign, Henry demanded tribute from Alexos III Angelos, the new Byzantine Empire.
Jeff Alexos?
No. Who in turn levied a quote unquote German tax.
All right.
This tax would be paid until Henry died on September 28th, 1197. Before his death, Henry had named Henry of Malden and Bishop Conrad of Hildesheim to lead the crusade. German forces set sail between March and September from Italian ports. At the same time, Al-Adil captured Jaffa, but Crusaders captured Borton, Sedan, and Beirut before they abandoned the crusade upon hearing of Henry's death in February of 1198. So Henry died in 1197, and it took them like 5 months to get word of his death. So
Some olden days.
money may have been more prosperous back then for some people, but it took a hell of a lot longer to hear of somebody dying.
Sure.
Yeah, can you imagine? You had like a horse or you had a boat. Those were your options to get
Send the
somewhere.
raven.
During this crusade, Cyprus and Armenia got new kings when Amaury was crowned for Cyprus and Leo the First of Sicily, Cilicia.
Cilicia?
Yes, Cilicia. Because I just realized that's like the last 5 letters of my name. Cilicia was crowned for Armenia. Amory then married the widowed Isabella the First of Jerusalem, and in January of 1198 was also crowned king of Jerusalem. One of his first orders of business was to extend the truce with the Ayyubids until 1204. Also in 1198, the German nursing co-fraternity, who had been running a hospital at Acre, became a military group forming the Teutonic Knights. Or
Hmm.
Teutonic Knights? Teutonic Knights. Teutonic Knights. I've heard of them too. They're actually on my list of cults to cover.
All right.
In 1198, Pope Celestine III died and was succeeded by Innocent III.
All right. What a name.
And he's the third one that decided that he wanted to be named Innocent.
The third innocent pope.
Innocent attempted to launch a crusade, but war and a throne dispute kept him from launching any large scale attacks.
But he was innocent.
I know. But Marquard von Anweiler.
Oh, crap. Not Marquard.
I knew that name was gonna fuck us
From
up.
Rick.
No,
Wait, that's Marquard.
that's Marquard. Marquard von Anweiler, a veteran of the Third Crusade, refused to accept Innocent's claim as regent in Sicily for child emperor Frederick, son of Henry VI. Innocent accused Marquard.
But he was innocent.
I can't stop laughing at Marquard's name. See if I can put a little spin on it. Marquard. Marquard? Marquard.
Marquide.
No, but it's Ward. It's Mark Ward. But I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Marquard. No, it's Marquard.
Marquard.
Marquard. It doesn't get any better.
Like Farquard.
No matter how many times I say it.
Yo, Farquard. If you want to like do us, like that would be awesome.
Innocent accused Marquard of endangering the Holy Land and allowing for crusading against Marquard.
You watch, he'll show up in like a week and you'll be like, the paranormal lovers will be like on Farquard.
What is Farquard?
Yeah, Farquard. You haven't seen Farquard?
No, I don't know Farquard.
Dude has interviewed like every musician known to man.
Oh, that's cool.
And like he's unique. You just have to watch.
I like unique people.
Like he's
Come on, Farquard.
He's real weird.
All right. This will be the first political crusade.
Nardwar. That's
Nardwar.
Nardwar.
All right. Innocent continued on with his plans. There's somebody listening right now going, fucking thank you. I've been screaming it at the radio. Innocent continued on with his plans for a crusade to the Holy Land. He sent Peter Capuano to host peace talks between England and France, but the talks ended when Richard died in April of 1199. Gonna party like 1199. Doesn't have the same ring to it.
No.
By this time, preacher Fulk of Neuilly had been tasked with promoting the crusade in France. He also set a 2.5% levy on clerical income to pay for this campaign. He taxed the clerics' incomes.
All right.
Meh. Meh.
Tax the church.
Meh. I see cleric and all I can think of is Minecraft. Meh.
All I can think of is Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate 3.
Nice. Theobald the Third of Champagne would be the first to take up. You know what I'm thinking of every time I say Champagne?
Yeah, Champagne.
That crazy fucking dude that lived by Lord.
Yep.
Motherfucker was nuts.
Right.
Yeah, dude was crazy.
He's like, I'm Champagne.
His cousin soon followed suit, followed again by his brother-in-law, Baldwin the Ninth of Flanders. The Knight! Get an original fucking name, would ya? God.
Flanders.
Ned Flanders.
Wonder if he was a Templar.
Ned Flanders. From The Simpsons.
Yeah.
The Simpsons. The Simpsons.
Howdy ho, neighbor.
No. Although, if they were ever to do a live action Simpsons, who would make a really good Ned?
Who?
Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Uh,
100%.
they came up with a plan to strike at Egypt first, a plan they kept secret to avoid opposition. 6 envoys were sent out to hire a fleet and ended up with an agreement with Doge and Enrico Dandolo Dandolo to have Venice build a fleet large enough for 35,000 soldiers.
Jesus.
These ships were to be done by June of oh, you know what? I was wrong. That wasn't 10 no, I was wrong about the whole weight of the silver earlier, because I actually wrote this in my notes. These ships were to be done by June of 1202 and would cost 85,000 marks or over 22 tons of silver.
Jesus.
So that's 44,000 pounds of silver. That's a lot. Boniface of Montferrat became leader of the crusade when Theobald died unexpectedly in March of 1201, and his crusade was off to a sad start when only one-third of the expected men gathered in Venice.
Oh no.
Yeah. The creators,
Oath breakers.
the Crusaders were not able to pay the agreed amount to the Venetians, who had invested a lot of money into this crusade, so they had to find a way to recoup their losses. It was agreed upon, amidst much protest, that Zara, a city under the rule of King Emmerich of Hungary, should be captured for Venice. This was done even though Emmerich was a sworn crusader himself and there was papal prohibition. Alexos Angelos was wintering in Venice when he took place and had an offer. He offered to, quote, reunite the Byzantine Church with Rome, pay 200,000 marks, and supply 10,000 troops if restored to Constantinople, end quote.
Where are they getting all this silver from?
Fuck if I know. They're sacking and looting and crusading and shit. They're just stealing shit. Probably
All right.
smelting it down. Who knows?
Jesus, man.
He had only recently been absolved of attacking a Christian city, but the leaders agreed and diverted their expedition. When this happened, hundreds of people quit the crusade and sailed directly to the Holy Land. The army would begin their siege of Constantinople in June of 1203. When they attacked in early July, Emperor Alexios III fled. Isaac II was restored, and his son crowned co-emperor Alexios IV. Alexios and Alexios and Alexios and Alexios.
The fourth.
Oh, no, wait. There's another one coming. This would be a short-lived rule for the two emperors, as Alexios was only able to raise 100,000 marks, promising to raise more if the Crusaders would stay until March. They did stay, Alexios didn't pay, and the Crusaders looted the town. Aristocrat Alexios Ducas disposed of Isaac and Alexios IV and was crowned the new Emperor Alexios V in February of 1204. I was so
Right on.
annoyed writing Alexios. I literally wrote Alexios like 6 times in that one paragraph. God. Supplies were dwindling by this point, and it was time to once again attack Constantinople. The Crusaders' first attempt failed, but morale was kept high by clergy who preached sermons branding the Byzantines, quote, worse than the Jews, end quote. On April 12th, they succeeded in their second attack, and the sack of Constantinople began and would last for 3 days. It is said that over 2,000 of the city's inhabitants were slaughtered during those days. Holy sites were destroyed, and the city's wealth was stolen. And yeah, they stole, of course, any money they could find. They stole all like the silver and gold and bronze statues that were in the town. They raided all the churches and like stole all the crucifixes and shit. Like, it was bad.
Wow.
On April 12th, oh, yep. The brutality shocked leaders of both the Christian and the Muslim world, and it has been compared to the relative clemency Saladin showed the people of Jerusalem. Baldwin of Flanders was elected the first Latin emperor. Boniface of Montferrat was given control of Macedonia and Thessaly and founded the kingdom of Thessalonica. Thessalonica, yep. His vassals went and created the Duchy of Athens and Attica and the Principality of Achaea in the Peloponnese. The Venetians gained control of many more Aegean islands, including Crete, and appointed a Venetian cleric as the Latin Patriarch of Constantinople. French control of former Byzantine lands was not very strong. Baldwin died while in captivity in Bulgaria after he was defeated at the Battle of A- uh, Adrian Adrianople. Adrianople? No, Adrianople in 1205. Boniface was killed fighting the Bulgarians in 1207. From their vantage points, the Crusaders saw this, the Fourth Crusade, as a failure. Only around one-fifth of those who took up the cross actually made it to the Holy Land, and after the sack of Constantinople, many of the Crusaders returned home. After this crusade ended, Innocent was tempted to start a new campaign in the east, but was still having to deal with the German throne drama and more war between England and France. However, their newly made Crusader states were also not at danger of being attacked due to internal drama within the Ayyubids. In 1212, a new king was crowned in Jerusalem, John of Brienne, who had married Queen Isabella's daughter and heir, Maria of Montferrat. He called for a 5-year truce with Al Adil, who had become ruler of Egypt and Damascus, and then turned around and asked the Pope to launch a crusade once it expired.
Hmm.
We're going to have a truce for 5 years. Hey, Pope, once this truce is over, can you go attack him? Backstabbing motherfuckers. People's zeal for crusading was still high, though many people had concerns about the noble led campaigns because those really didn't seem to be fucking working out.
Right.
However, processions of Iberian Christian migrants stirred up a fever over the Muslim revivalist Al-Mohads and Catharism. Yep. This started a smaller and even less successful crusade known as the Children's Crusade because it was made up of mainly children and teenagers, though none of them made their way to the Holy Land.
Wow.
See, the kids get involved, man.
Yep.
And nowadays, our kids got a lot more fucking ability to get the fucking word out. I'm so proud. Yeah, we're almost at the end. We're actually at the end. Um, if anybody's still listening, shout out to them fucking students in South Carolina who put their goddamn foot down and said, "We don't want that racist Trump supporting bigot bitch at our commencement speech."
Right.
They didn't say it like that. I'm saying it like that.
Right.
And fuck you, South Carolina politicians who want to cut their goddamn funding because they don't want her racist, bigoted ass up in their fucking historically black college.
Right.
I'm so mad about that. But that's a story for another day. And that's where we're going to end it this week. There are several more campaigns to go through. Not sure how many episodes it's going to take. Next week, I'm going to bring you a missing persons case because we are overdue, or we're not overdue, but we are due for one. And then we will be back with part 3 the week after. So, Bill, what do you think of the Crusades so far?
I don't know.
It's just a lot of
Wild.
this person attacks this person, and then this person attacks this person, but this person doesn't want to support this person, so these two guys start fighting, and it's like,
Yeah.
can't we just all get along?
I never imagined there was so much fighting back then, but I guess it
So
was like
much.
all the time.
Yeah, it really was, I guess. Um, which is sad,
Yeah.
but it's like, have we really ever stopped?
Can't we just get along?
Can't we all just get along? Like, has it ever stopped though?
No.
Like, and it's oh no, my vape. It's sad.
As Fallout says, at the beginning of Fallout 3, or war never changes.
Nope. All right, friends. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We hope you all have a good week, and we will see you guys later.
Be kind to each other.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.